What's up, everybody? I know it's been quite a long time since I gave you one of these daily hologram videos, but I put some thought today into a list that I put together that I would love to share with you guys from my personal experience to see if maybe you can relate in your own experiences in this area. And this would be a category of 11 types of friends that I've come across in my life, and I had to talk about the friends subject somehow because I've been friendless for many years and I'm tired of being a loner. But for the time in my life or stage in my life, especially in my teenage and childhood years, when I did have close friends, unlike today, um, I want to share with you the types of friends that I came across during those years, and it may be into young adult years. But maybe this will also give you insight on the type of friends I desire in the present and future, or if any past friends want to come into my life and reevaluate these things. Anyway, getting to you, the audience, uh, jarring or sharing, for lack of a better term, from my personal experience. Let's see how much y'all can relate. All right, so the 11 categories I have, some of them could be subcategories, others I'm going to delve into as more main categories of trust when I get to the end. Uh, but some of them I'll repeat near the end because of that reason. But number one, and these are no typical order, uh, your financial friend. This is the type of friend that basically, anytime you need financial help or monetary help, or you're in need or you're struggling financially, they seem to always have a penny to spare. So, this is the type of friend that you can always count on whenever you're financially struggling, to chip in somehow to keep you financially stable. Spiritual friend. This is number two. This is the person that they could be at church. They could be um, like a spiritual leader, uh, a public speaker. But for some reason, anytime you need a word of advice spiritually or something to put your focus back on God, even if they just randomly or sporadically pop in and out of your life, they somehow always know just the right thing to say at just the right time, uh, to encourage you spiritually. So that's why I call the spiritual friend, or if they're consistently always there, just giving you spiritual advice. Number three, a physical friend. This is the friend that you can always count on to physically be there in person, not over a phone call, not over Skype, not over long distance or anything like that. But literally, they are there in person, walking with you, in the same room with you, in the same car with you, at the same restaurant with you. Um, this is the type of physical friend. A subcategory of also a physical friend would be someone you can be non-sexually physically intimate with, whether that be through a warm embrace, a kiss, a hug. Um, Granted, not lip kissing, but any other kiss is fine. That will depend on your comfort areas, because there's other areas on the body that you shouldn't be kissing. Anyway, to not get too explicit, the Bible still includes a holy embrace and some translations a holy kiss when greeting the brethren, which means there is a way to kiss and embrace your brothers and sisters in a non sexual way. If you are struggling with that temptation, either you number one, need to get yourself a spouse, or repent, or just find a godly way to fill that void of insecurity that you have. But other than that, do not let these, not to diminish any of these movements, but don't let these crazy feminists or hypertension of the Me Too movement stop you from enjoying physical intimacy with your brothers and sisters. You can cuddle up, you can have your arms around your brothers and sisters. Yes, brothers and sisters, because I'm including the opposite sex in this. You shouldn't, unless it is strictly a personality thing where you do not like to be touched. You shouldn't be against touching from the opposite sex, if it's a form of physical embrace, or just warm interaction to boost them emotionally. The rest you can figure out with Holy Ghost wisdom, okay? Um, Emotional friend is the next category. Let's see. So far we covered three. This is four. So an emotional friend basically is the one you can always count on to brighten your day. If you are having the worst of days where like nothing ever seems to be going right, this is the one person you can count on to make you laugh, to make you joyful, to give you a sense of positivity, to pick you up once you've fallen, uh, to when everyone's betrayed you, the one that just sticks around to make sure you're doing okay. This is the emotional friend to make sure that your emotions don't send you down the drain of suicidal thoughts or doesn't send you down the drain of giving up on a great opportunity that you may have in front of you. So these are the encouraging ones, and they're really valuable. All right, number five, a shared interest friend. These are the type of friends, obviously by the title, that you can always rely on having common interests with you to talk about, or just to enjoy doing the same things with the same amount of ecstasy. That can be, and that doesn't just apply to drugs or alcohol. I'm talking about like you enjoy the same movies, the same music, the same food, the same restaurants, the same theme parks. These are the type of friends that, even if you don't have anything else in common, is if you have that one thing in common or one crazy shared interest that you never fail to enjoy together, you can always depend on any of these categories or all these categories to share interests with whenever you're feeling down. All right. Next category of friends, number five, are the good times friends. These next two categories have pros and cons to them. Actually, maybe the next four categories. But so far, I covered five. Number six is the good times friend. These are the type of friends that are only around, obviously, through the good times. When everything's going smoothly, when you got all the money in the world, when you're always happy, when your family's good, when everyone's healthy, these are the type of friends that always stick around during those times of your life. But as soon as something goes wrong in your life, it's like they dash right out the door and you don't see them until everything's going good again. All right, next category of friends are the bad times friends. Obviously, this is the opposite side of the spectrum. When everything's going smoothly in your life, you got all the money, you got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, they're like ghosts. They never seem to be found. But as soon as you lost something, especially if you lost something big that is emotionally draining you or physically draining you, then they seem to pop out of the shadows. Now, this can be a great improvement when it comes to getting you back up on your feet, because at least you have these people to rely on when you're struggling or in a pit. But at the same token, wouldn't it be nice for these type of friends to share in the joys of life with you when you're also succeeding? So there's a pro and con to both the good times and the bad times categories. Anyway, um, let's see. We've got financial, spiritual, physical, emotional, shared interests. Good times, bad times. That's seven already. Next one is my eighth choice, which is Jokey. The Jokey friend, similar to the emotional friend, but except instead of brightening your day in any way, whether that be blessing you with a meal, blessing you with something that just lifts your spirits, they simply are joke tellers, meaning they turn even things that shouldn't be jokes into jokes. They're like the fourth wall breakers, the Wade Wilsons, if you will, of your life, or the Deadpools of your life. There's not there's not a thing in life in existence that they cannot joke about. So you can always rely on them for a laugh. Even if you feel like killing yourself, this person will laugh you back to your senses. So that's the jokey type of friend. Sorry if that's too an extreme example for some of you. All right, on the opposite spectrum, my ninth category is the serious friend, which I tend to fall into a lot with certain people, maybe the majority of people. The serious friend is someone who's not the biggest joke teller, probably doesn't even tell a single joke at all. But whenever you need serious advice on something that's going to really impact your current life or the future of your life, they seem to always have the right advice that you have to take seriously, because you're going to end up with severe consequences if you don't take this advice. As much as they are very terrible friends when it comes to brightening your day or making you laugh, they are very important friends to keep you out of trouble. So both the jokey and the serious friend have value, just for different reasons. All right. By the way, all these categories have value. It's just that some of them have mostly pros and others have pros and cons. The comfort friend would be my 10th category. Now, the 10th category of a comfort friend is basically when you've had a life altering experience or experienced major loss, could be the death of a loved one, the death of a friend. This is the type of friend that is always there to comfort you in your lowest of lows, to make sure whatever you need, whether it be a physical embrace, a meal, just someone to listen to, not even get advice from, just someone who's just going to hear you out and not lecture you, but make sure you're comforted in the midst of your pain. That's the comfort friend. Very valuable. Number 11, which is closing off my list here, is the business friend. This is the person that you may have no personal physical attachments whatsoever, but anytime it comes to getting business done, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's opening up a business, whether it's starting up an investment, whether it's making a financial deal with each other, a financial split with each other, they seem to always be the one you can count on when you want to get business done. Or for a subcategory of this business friend, it could also be the coworker that you never see outside the workplace, but for some reason, every time you're at work, they're always the one you can trust, or always the one you can talk to, or make deals with, or just talk about life within the workplace. So that would be the business friend. All right, so now that I covered my list of 11 types of friends, I want to get into the nitty gritty of trust, which I feel if you forget all these types of friends, the top four that you should remain aware of to really evaluate the value of the friendships you have. And that would be reverting back to the beginning. The financial, spiritual, again in no order, physical, and emotional friends. These four categories are, in my opinion, the ultimate ways of determining the level of friendship you have with someone. If you have at least one of these categories with someone, you're a friend or acquaintance, basically. But you could consider them a friend if they're always consistently providing you or helping you in any one of these areas, whether it be only financial, only spiritual, only physical, or only emotional. As long as they are faithfully serving you in any of these four, trust me, you can consider them a friend. To consider somebody a best friend, in my humble opinion, they should be consistently. Now, I keep repeating consistently because if these people are only doing any of this stuff for you sporadically, then sorry, they're in the acquaintance category, not the friend or higher levels of friendship categories I'm about to share. If they're faithfully serving you in two of these four categories, then I would consider them a best friend. Meaning, they're always there for you financially and spiritually, even if they're not there for you physically and emotionally, or they're always there for you physically and emotionally, even if they're not there for you spiritually or financially, vice versa, crisscross, whichever way you want. As long as they're faithful serving you in two of these categories, any two, then I would consider them potential for a best friend. Okay, number 3, which you should obviously be projecting how this is going. If you want the level of close friendship, they should be faithfully serving you in at least 3 of these areas. Now, to consider a person which I like to call a ride or die, a person that will take a bullet for you is someone who is faithfully serving you in all four of these categories. If they're always there for you financially, they're always there for you spiritually. And by the way, to backtrack, when I say financially, it doesn't have to be a bucket load or truckload of cash. This financial help could be in anything, whether it be you take care of the cup of coffee once in a while. You take them out for dinner once in a while. It doesn't have to be a date dinner. It could just be a friendship dinner. You take care of the gasoline every once in a while. Take care of the movie ticket every once in a while. So some of you only reserve this for dates, but trust me, you could do it with friends too. Friends of the opposite sex included. Okay. So basically, heck, even if you only give a person a quarter a day could mean them losing their Disney Plus subscription. So even a quarter a day could help them keep their Disney Plus subscription alive. Just any small contribution helps. But if they're always there for you financially, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, this is your potential for a ride or die, take a bullet for you type of friend. These are the friends that I don't want to encourage clinging to people, because at the same time you have to cling to God more than anybody. But these are the type of friends I would encourage you to hold as tightly as you can to, because they're the hardest to come across by. And I don't mean in an insecure type of hanging. I'm talking about a security that you are secure in this friendship, therefore you prize it above all else and want to invest the most into it, whether it be investing your money, investing your time, investing your physicality, investing your emotions, investing your spiritual thoughts. So this is the type of friend you want to invest the most into, because more than likely, if everyone else left you, they'd still be around. So anyway, hopefully that covers about it. This has been over a 15-minute video already, so for those of you who have ADD, you probably didn't stick around this long. But if you did, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this gives you a better glimpse on the type of friends I desire to have. Yeah, I just pray that even in the midst of all these different pandemics, social distancing, things keeping us apart, that we'll still find ways to maintain our personal relationships. And God bless y'all. Take care.